Hello everyone and welcome back, and today we are going to be reviewing, as per usual, Real Housewives of Miami. This is episode 4. Yes, sorry I missed last week. I was just so busy from Christmas and I'm still busy with this New Year's thing. I just want holidays to end so I can just focus on things. Alright, but let's just get started. So Real Housewives of Miami kicks off where the episode left off. Episode 3 left off, which is Alexia's at the restaurant. I'm fixing my lighting. And she's trying to meet up with Herman's lover, and he doesn't show up. I had a feeling that he was going to show up because he didn't want to be on TV because the way they were blurring him. So I wasn't surprised. He doesn't show up. We'll get to what happens after later. All right, Larsa and her daughter. So the scene now goes to Larsa hanging out with her daughter. I think her name is Sophia. I think she says she's 12. Cute little girl. One thing I love about Real Housewives of Miami is that they're not afraid to show the money. And I love that. It reminds me of Beverly Hills, and I wish they kept doing that in Atlanta, but they stopped. Maybe they can't afford it. Anyway, so Larsa takes her daughter shopping, and unlike people like you and me that just goes to the mall with everybody else or shops online, she has a personal shopper. And her daughter go to this place, and the shopper meets up with them at the store, and she locks the door so no peasants comes in. No peasants are gonna come in and interrupt Larsa Pippen and her daughter Sophia Pippen. So excuse me. And overall, I thought the outfits were cute. I mean, they were Fendi and all this stuff. I mean, they were very cute though. I mean, I thought that the outfits were for her age appropriate. Cute shorts, little tank top, the Balenciaga shoes. I liked it. It wasn't too over the top. I mean, it was over the top because it was Fendi and Balenciaga. But, rich people don't live the same lives like you and me. They live a different type of life. So spending $7,500 on a couple of clothes, that's like whatever. Like even Sophia, like $7,500 is nothing to her. Like, spending $100 on the top is equivalent to spending $10 on the top to her. That's just what she's used to. So I loved it. The clothes were cute, and I loved how they added the price, $7,500. She was like, and Larsa was like, "You have my credit card on file." She was like, "Yes, I have all your information." I'm like, yeah, because rich people are too, they're too rich to just open up their wallet and take out their card and insert it or swipe it. No, they have that on file, honey. Okay. I need to get like Larsa. And overall, I actually like Larsa. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but so far, I like her. I like seeing her in mommy mode as a mom. I like that. Okay, so anything else about... Oh, yeah, I just really like the clothes. They're really cute and age appropriate. All right, next scene. Julia and Adriana. I do agree with a lot of people are saying that the relationship between them is a little overly flirty, but we're going to get to that in a minute. I want to talk about Miss Gertie. So Adriana meets up at Julia's house. I think her house is so cute. The whole little farm thing, I find it cute. I love seeing her and Martina generally happy being with their animals. It's cute. All right, so Gertie comes in with her family, and she's planning Julia's birthday party. Okay, this is storyline production. Now, all of a sudden, Julia and Gertie are friends. So Julia's birthday is coming up. Gertie obviously is a party planner. You're gonna have her plan it. Cool. Farm is cute. R.I.P. to Adriana's shoes. Adriana, come on. You've been to Julia's house enough times to know that she has a bunch of mud and all types of animals back there. You do not wear Valentino shoes in the backyard of Julia's house. You could do that at my house, even though I don't know if my house is Valentino worthy, but you could do that at anybody else's house. But Julia, girl, come on. All right. So then Adriana's shoes are ruined. Her Valentino shoes, were they like $1,000, $2,000? And Julia helps clean her shoes. Okay, cool. So she's taking the dirt off, and she's helping clean Adriana's feet. Now, the previews obviously may look and seem more scandalous or sexual than usual, but it really wasn't all that once we saw the footage. And then Gertie. After this episode, it's like I started off liking Gertie because I want to give everybody a fair shot, but I don't think Real Housewives is cut out for her. Like, if she's gonna come back next season, make her a friend, because she's really not that interesting. I mean, yeah, her party planning thing is cool. I'd rather see her on HGTV. I don't want to see Gertie on Real Housewives. She's not cut out to be a housewife, in my opinion. And actually, her and Kiki could switch, because Kiki seems like she has the potential to be interesting. Gertie's very awkward, but we'll get to that later. Gertie, I put, is trying so hard, and mind your business, Gertie. She does. Okay, this is what really started turning me off about Gertie. So the girls, Adriana, Julia, and Gertie, are sitting down. They're talking. And I guess production put a bug in her ear, because I felt it very random that she was going to talk about, don't you wish you had a boy? I guess Gertie really wanted to talk about her and her boys. But I guess, I don't know, she knew that Julia lost the boy. I don't know, production told her. So it was just told her something. It was just really weird. Because then, you know, the conversation obviously gets very uncomfortable, because Julia is trying to, it's a very triggering moment, and I felt that was a real moment coming from Julia. It is very triggering. You're mentioning a boy, and I don't know if Gertie knew that or not, or she just wanted to use an excuse to talk about herself and make the moment about herself. It was just really uncomfortable for many reasons. The topics were uncomfortable, and then Gertie's reaction was just so weird. So she says, don't you wish you had a boy? And then Julia immediately starts bursting into tears and having a breakdown. And before Julia even is able to say why she's having this reaction, Gertie starts crying. And then she's crying, you know, and going crazy. And I'm just like, why is she crying? Like, the timing of it, I don't know if it was editing. I don't think so. But the timing was so weird. Because then Julia finally, when she, like, is able to speak, she says, you know, I had a boy. And then Gertie's like, oh, I had a daughter. Yeah, I had a daughter. I lost her at 4 months. It's like, okay. I get it, and I'm not trying to make light of a miscarriage. It is really sad, but it was just, the timing was so inappropriate. It was like, okay, first of all, you kicked that off. You triggered her because you kicked that off talking about, don't you wish you had a boy? And then when Julia's trying to explain why she's so hysterical, you're hysterical because of your own situation. But the situation really isn't about you, and I don't think it was appropriate to blurt it out like that, in that way. You could talk about, if you want to, about your miscarriage at 4 months. I'm sorry about that, but it was just the editing plus the timing of it. Gertie is very awkward. I don't know if she understands social cues properly, but it's just, she's very awkward, and that's the best way I could say it, because it was really awkward and uncomfortable. And I was like doing the same face as Adriana. I was like, because I was like, what is happening? It was just, it exploded. It went from 0 to 10 so quickly. And I understand from Julia, because you're saying something that's triggering to her. You don't know this woman, and you're already saying something that's triggering. And Gertie probably didn't mean to do it, but I feel like just how that scene was staged, it was like, okay, did production put a bug in your ear, or did you, for some reason, wanted to talk about you and you having a girl, you almost having a girl? Anyway, Julia talks about how in 1991, in October, she had a son, and she hired a nanny who ended up giving the baby shaken baby syndrome. So she shook the baby, which, how do you even, like, I know how to shake a baby, but how do you even think that's appropriate to do to a baby? And long story short, the baby went to coma, the baby died, and the nanny disappeared. Terrible. I hope that nanny's having the worst bad karma of her life, because I don't understand. You're a nanny, you shake a baby? Even if, like, I'm not a nanny and I know not to shake a baby. I don't even have kids. Anyway, she's a cruel woman, and I wish the worst for her. Then Gertie talks about having a miscarriage, miscarrying her daughter at 4 months. I'm sorry, Gertie, but that, like I said, and I'm gonna get to this more at the end. I don't like how Gertie uses her past trauma as an excuse for her behavior. I don't care if your whole family burns down in a building. I mean, I do care, but what I'm trying to say is, that's not an excuse for you to do the bad things or do wrong things. It's okay to say, hey, I messed up. You know, we all mess up. Nobody's perfect, but you can't, I'll get to that later, but you can't use my sorrows as an excuse. We all have sorrows. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, Julia talks about that. That scene was just really awkward, really awkward. Because obviously miscarriages and babies dying is an awkward conversation. Then the timing of it. Then Julia can't console herself, and then she goes, walks away, and goes cries in a corner or something. And I'm just like, why is she crying this much? Yes, a miscarriage is hard, but we're not even talking about you. But you're so emotional that you have to go cry about yourself. It was just, ugh. I'm done with that. It was just weird. I was agreeing with Adriana. It's like, I feel like she was making it about herself because she pitched that to her. She kicked that off just for her to cry literally a second later. And then Julia, who went through something that's probably one of the most traumatic things in the world, is more consolable than her. But she's such a wreck that she has to go cry in a corner and then get consoled by Julia, even though you triggered Julia, but Julia still has to console you. Anyway, Alexia, Marisol, and her assistant, the scene moves to them, and she talks about her conversation with Herman's lover. She pretty much says what I already thought. He didn't want to be on camera. I had a feeling he was going to show up on camera from the beginning because I just felt like he didn't want to be on camera. And Alexia talks about how the lover and Herman were like in love, and Herman's a great sugar daddy. I mean, I'm sorry, when I saw the pictures of the guy, I got sugar daddy tease. I mean, make your money, and maybe they did really love each other, but he did a lot for him. He bought him a house, he got his family from Cuba, which I'm sure was really hard to do. Rest in peace to Herman. You were an amazing sugar daddy. One thing that I was caught off guard was what Alexia was saying, that the guy told her that Herman had too much respect for her to tell her. I mean, to each their own. I mean, to me, cheating is very disrespectful no matter who it is with. So, I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't care about Alexia, but I think Herman had a lot of other issues than respect for his wife. I mean, I think it's disrespectful to lie, because if you think about it, he had a whole double life. He lied, and okay, rumors have been circulating that Herman's been hooking up with guys long before they divorced. This guy allegedly came after the divorce, or no, when they just got divorced or was filed, but he was hooking up with guys before. And I find it disrespectful that you are going to continue to lie and live this double life. And on the other hand, I do understand, because that in the closet lifestyle is very hard, especially in the Latin community. I get it. So I'm not mad at Herman, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a very complicated situation. But I hope the storyline's over now with the Herman and the lover thing, because I'm kind of over it, because Herman's been dead for, what? We're going to 2022, so like 7 years now? I can't think he died in like 2015, maybe 2016, something like that. He's been dead a while, so let's move on. Especially since Alexia has more compelling things, with the son and Todd, which I will get to that next episode. Okay. Larsa, we're going back to Larsa. Pretty much Larsa and Lisa look at a home in Boca. Girl, Larsa, we know you're not moving to Boca, but the house was cute. Bathroom was weird, but I like the automatic doors. Cool. I do like Larsa talking about her kids, and I like her talking about Scotty. I find that interesting. Whether it's true or not, I do believe when you're in that lifestyle, I mean, yes, you sign up for it, but you're a Stepford wife, you're trapped in the house. You have to do everything he says, or else you don't get the money, you get cut off. So she spent half her life with this guy. It makes me understand why she's in this MILF grandma action now, because it's like she never got to live that when she should have, when she was like my age, in her 20s, early 30s. She didn't get to do that. So I get it, Larsa. I like this side of Larsa. I'm liking her. I'm liking her. So far so good, Larsa. I mean, I think you're proving people wrong. Everybody thought, I mean, Larsa is a bit on the snotty, I'm so rich, but I also like her at the same time. So I think she's starting to prove people wrong, because everybody was like hating Larsa before the show, and she's not that bad. I mean, is she somebody that I would hang out with? No, but she's not that bad. Okay, so the scene goes into Gertie coming in decorating for Julia's birthday party. We'll get to that later. Nicole. I'm sorry, guys, but I just don't find Nicole interesting. I don't dislike her, at least not as of yet, but she's just not interesting to me. And I'm sorry. I could empathize with Nicole, which talks about her as a kid seeing her mom struggle, but I do not empathize with Nicole's mother. Because at the end of the day, you signed up for that lifestyle willingly, and you were so willing to sign up for this lifestyle, and you were enjoying the luxurious life. You were enjoying living off of, all this drug and blood money, because a bunch of time people were murdered in this cartel and the cocaine world. And how many people's lives is your husband or ex-husband responsible for ruining, with cocaine addictions, people dying of overdoses, people getting killed? But you didn't care about that. I mean, you signed up for that lifestyle. You, like Nicole said, you didn't work a day of your life. You lived off of the lavish lifestyle, the furs, the house, the riches, the money, the jewelry. And now that gets taken away from you, and you're like, oh, what do I do now? I have to go get a job. Yeah, you have to go get a job. So to be honest, I mean, I know it sounds to me that I don't care, but I care more about the children affected in this lifestyle. These wives sign up for this lifestyle and love living off of the rich and the high life, knowing that their husbands are doing some of the most terrible things in the world, but they don't care because they're getting pampered, and you're loving this lifestyle. All you do is have his babies, and you have this luxurious lifestyle, and you have all this privilege, and you have all these furs and this jewelry. You have everything, and now that it gets taken away from you, you don't know what to do. Get a job. What skills has her mother acquired other than marrying somebody in the cartel, living a rich, luxurious lifestyle, and having kids? Like, get a job like everybody else. Like, at the end of the day, when you're in the cartel life, police and getting arrested is something that's highly likely going to happen. So, but they don't care. Those women don't care. They just want to live off of the lifestyle, not caring about people that were murdered, lives are ruined, families are ruined. They don't care. So I don't really care about this story that Nicole was saying. I know for her, I care about how the children, like her as a kid, was affected, seeing her life change like that. I don't care about her mother like that. That was me. I don't care about how the mother struggled, because she signed up for it. When you sign up for that lifestyle, you know that the likelihood of the FBI getting involved and taking everything away from me can happen. But I guess back then you thought you were the queen of the world, so you thought it never was going to happen. It was never going to happen. Whatever. Next. Okay, we're going back to Gertie decorating for Julia's birthday party. Okay. I think Gertie's a great party planner. I do think I seen her Instagram. Her stuff looks good. I just feel like, I didn't really get Tulum either. And I'm not that just because I like Adriana. It was okay. I really wish production did a nice B-roll, which is a footage of before everybody enters in, so we get a nice proper view of how everything looked, because I couldn't really see how everything looked because it was just zoomed in on the centerpiece. It's like the little piece of feather. Like, I couldn't really see it. It just looked like, honestly, it just looked like all Gertie did was decorate a table, handwrite names on a leaf, and then semi-decorate a bar and get catering. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but Nicole's sushi sake was nicer. But maybe that's what Julia wanted. This probably was last minute. I don't know. But it was... Adriana walks in and she's like, I don't like this, I don't like that. I mean, Adriana's really blunt. I don't think she should have said it like that, but she wasn't wrong. You talk about Gertie, she's the #1 party planner in Miami, Gertified, she was on Martha Stewart, yada, yada, yada. So you expect a lot from her, and she didn't really deliver, but whatever. It is what it is. It wasn't terrible. The party itself wasn't that interesting either. I mean, Lars's party actually was a lot more fun when she had the ride the shark and this party, but I don't know, it's because it was so much farm animal stuff going on where she couldn't really go crazy. But it was okay. Okay. Adriana's bar decorations did help, though. Not gonna lie. I hated Kiki's outfit. I think Kiki's beautiful, but like, one thing I love about these girls is that they wear really pretty maxi dresses. Like Alexia looked great. All of them look pretty good. I love when the girls from Miami wear those maxi dresses. Like, I want to go find maxi dresses just like that. But Kiki was wearing all black, and some hat. Like, she looked like it was like fall, winter time in New York. This is Miami. Let's wear some colors. Anyway, everybody's chilling, everybody's having a good time. And then Gertie just starts to make things so awkward. She's in every conversation. And she just can't let this foot rubbing thing go. And it's like, Gertie, after a while, you gotta let it go. You kept poking and you gave me Judith Sidora vibes from Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she was fishing so hard to get a moment and start an issue with somebody, especially Kenya, for no reason. And she did the gag gift thing. You were giving me that, but even worse. Because you were... Everybody, you're talking to Martina and Julia, and you remember last week, you were like, oh my God, I'm such a fan of hers. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. She's just too much. And then Adriana, so you guys are talking, and she's like, okay, but let's talk about you rubbing Adriana's feet. I'm just like, and then Julia was like, I already talked about that, Martina, she already knows. All right, that should have been left at that point, because Gertie, at that point, there's nothing really to talk about. If Martina already knows, there's nothing, no surprise or shock. So let's let it go. But you did not let it go, and you were so inappropriate. Okay. So I'm just gonna skip down a bit. So Martina seemed uncomfortable the whole time. I don't know if it's the cameras. Martina obviously doesn't seem too keen on Julia flirty relationship with Adriana. We'll see what happens going forward with that. Julia gives me jealous, protective, like even the other week where she said, don't you showing too much boobs. Oh, sorry. Don't do that. It's something is a little off about her, but she is right to feel uncomfortable with Julia and Adriana. I think they're playing it up for the cameras, but she's uncomfortable. Okay. Gertie, so they're at the dinner table. Gertie again is bringing it up. Oh, let's talk about that foot rub. Martina, I'm married, and nobody could give my husband a foot massage. I was off limits. And when I saw them, I was just like, I'm just gonna back away and mind my business, because like I'm married and I know like I wouldn't want that either. Like, she was pushing it so hard, and everybody on the table was looking uncomfortable. Because it was like think about it like this. If you're at dinner with friends and family and you had some random person shout out to somebody's spouse, oh, your spouse was flirting with this guy or girl the other day. That's so awkward and uncomfortable. And she kept going. And I want to know unedited version. Like, how many times would she keep going about it? Like, stop. Like, you're trying so hard to get a moment, and you're so like something so socially awkward about her. And it's like, you're doing too much. You're saying, oh, I just was going to sit there and mind my business. No, you didn't. You didn't say that. Like, stop. And then now Martina's upset. And then everybody gets uncomfortable again, because then Martina's like, when Julia says, oh, I'm sharing something, she's like, oh, what do you share? It's like, that's so awkward. And Julia wasn't saying anything with any type of flirty vibe. She was just talking. All I can say to Gertie is, mind your own marriage. You said your confessionals that you're so concerned as a married person about what Julia and Adriana are doing with Martina and that relationship. Mind your own marriage, because you're concerned about other people's marriages. You should watch your husband. Okay? Mind your own relationship. I'm not saying your husband's out here cheating. Not that, we don't know that yet. But it's like, focus on your relationships. Like, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be that hell-bent on focusing on knowing what's going on in somebody else's relationship. Like, it's none of your business, and you're a grown woman. Stop. So Adriana tries to explain to Martina, and then Gertie keeps interrupting, and I felt bad for Adriana because she's trying to clear things up, because she is friends outside the camera. She is friends with Martina and Julia. She doesn't want things to be misconstrued. So she's trying to say, hey, this happened. But then Gertie is just all up in it. Like, Gertie, back off. God. And everyone's just so uncomfortable at that table. And I was Larsa the whole time. Like, Larsa was just sitting there like... And even Lexia was just like... That was me the whole time. It was uncomfortable. Like, Gertie, I really wanted Gertie to be quiet. And then Nicole inserts herself, like, nobody asked you, Nicole. But I get it. She was trying to make excuses for why Gertie's so annoying, essentially. That's really what she was doing, she was making excuses of why she's so annoying. And there's no excuse. I don't care if you're a party planner. Like, just because you're a party planner doesn't mean you have to be that annoying. Turn it off, Gertie. Like, if you're a doctor, are you going to go to every party and then talk about people's bodies and evaluate them at a party just because you're a doctor during the day? No. But nobody asked you to do that, Nicole, but whatever. So then things get a little bit heated between Adriana and Gertie. Gertie gives me like that Karen white woman vibe. Oh, she's so aggressive. Oh, I'm scared. Girl, she wasn't even gonna hit you. She wasn't. You were being so annoying, and Gertie's one of those people where you tell them be quiet. Like, no, you be quiet. Like, I hate people like that. Like, you're doing too much. Stop. Like, God, she's a handful. I don't know how her husband deals with her. And it's just too much of this, oh, I'm scared, and oh, God, you need some class. No, Gertie, you need some class, because what you were doing, the whole I'm trying to pot stir thing, was very, very not classy, and very tacky, actually, because you're involving yourself in somebody's relationship, friendship, and marriage. Stop doing that. Okay. So then Julia tries to simmer everything down by coming to kiss Adriana, making everything even more uncomfortable. Okay. Gertie keeps talking, and then she's talking about, she tries to switch the conversation, and literally everything what Gertie was saying came in one sentence. There was no period to stop. She kept going, and then she's arguing with Adriana. She turns to Alexia and talks about something about number 7. I mean, Alexia's like, what? And I think at this point, Gertie starts to almost like have a breakdown, like lose control. I don't think Adriana was trying to be mean. She was just like, what the hell's happening? You're arguing, all this is happening, we're sitting out eating dinner, there's side conversation here. Now you're talking about number 7 when you were just interjecting yourself in somebody's marriage. It was just weird, but it just, I'm trying to understand what I wrote, but it was just so weird. And then she started to have a breakdown. And then she would all of a sudden just yell, shut the F up, everybody, and let me talk. It was just like, where's this coming from? And then she proceeds to cry and talk about the reason why she acts like this is because of all the trauma she went through. Girl, bye. Yes, you've been through trauma. We all have. Everybody has a sob story, but it doesn't excuse you for being that inappropriate. Period. Okay? And I was with Adriana. It's like, we've all have stories. You're not the only one that came to this country with nothing either. I do agree with that. It's like, don't make that an excuse. That's no excuse. Get out, like, ugh. And then everybody's like getting at Adriana, like, let her have her moment, Lisa. And then Gertie's still crying, and then Lisa's like, okay, talk. And then she's like, no, the moment's over. So then why are you crying in the first place? Like, ugh. And then, to make matters worse, she gets up and runs away in the bathroom. And, of course, he will have to chase after her. I hate people do that. Because Gertie just gives me, like, a little kid vibe. Like, she was giving me, like, she was acting like a child to me. And I when people act like that, I ignore them because they're clearly looking for attention. And that's what Gertie was looking for. Because you had the girls, oh, kiss her, but, oh, you're so sweet, and you're so this, and I love you. And then she's like, yeah. And then she stops crying all of a sudden. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to just be around people that care about me. And I'm not going to let Adriana break me down. Adriana wasn't trying to break you down. I don't think she was trying to do that. You were just being really annoying. And you actually owe her an apology. I'm sorry. Because that was really, really annoying. That's pretty much it for the episode. I don't think anybody's trying to break you down, Gertie. You were just really annoying. At this point, I mean, it's 4 episodes in, so I really don't like giving up on people. But Gertie's she's a little too much for me. And I think this whole Adriana versus Gertie storyline is stupid. I don't care enough because I don't care. Like Gertie's not that interesting to me. I think she's a great party planner and she, has her own talents in her own right. But I don't know. She has left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want her back next season. Bring Kiki or make her a friend. She's just not. Her and Nicole are not interesting. And I'm gonna give Nicole some more tries because, it's the 4th episode and I find Marisol more interesting than her. Lexia's interesting. Adriana's interesting. All the girls are interesting. I don't find these 2 new girls interesting at all, to be honest. They really could have brought back everybody from the last 2 seasons, honestly. 3 seasons. They really could have. But that's the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to comment below and let me know what you guys think, that'll be great. Next week we will come back and we are going to talk about the previews are showing Alexia and her and Todd and Peter and Gertie talking to her husband. We're gonna talk about that some more next week, and that's pretty much all I can remember, really. So tell me what you guys think, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye and Happy New Year.